I'm not seeing it, but hopefully I am. So if you're there, let me know. I am going to have to go and get my printout. I was having problems again with with this whole setup, but hopefully you can see me and hear me. I'm going to try and find the live so that I can see whether anyone is actually here and that you can see me and hear me. So, okay. All right, so I can see the live, so that is a good sign. We're going to be setting up, oh, hang on, let me turn that down. So it looks like we've got sound, which is very helpful as well. I've got my new mic here, so that is good. It says that one person is watching, so let me know if you could see me and hear me, and that'll be really helpful. I am going to very quickly go and grab the printout, and I'm going to need to get the link for you. Hang on, let me share the link, and I'll put this in the chat now so that you can have these. If you want to go and print them out as well, then you can use them to make this spread, because I'm going to be making a few different journal spreads, and I thought the printouts would be helpful. So let me go back to the live and stick this in the chat. Yay, hi Deb. Right, there's the link. Let me know if that works. I'm going to very quickly grab my printout so that I'm ready, and I'm going to close my door as well. Okay, so this is what the printouts look like. Let me show you on my desk. So I've got this set up now where I can show you my desk as well as showing you me. So this is the printouts. We've got like a kind of introduction page. I'm going to use this as like my main quote. So I'm going to do a quote page. Then I'm going to do, let me show you what I did last time actually, because it's going to be fairly similar, but I've got a new spread to go with it as well. So let me find, I've done quite a bit of journaling this month. So I'm going to start off with a quote spread here. Then I'm going to do like a title page, but just a kind of simple collagey title page. Then it's going to be a calendar for June, some cards and some astros. So I have got the astrology forecast, which is already up on my website, Jessica and the Moon, in my grimoire pages. I'll probably drop the link for that as well. I was trying to make like an actual scheduled stream so you'd be able to actually see all of this stuff. Hang on, I'm going to try and get the light up a little bit here as well, because I'm not sure you can see my desk that well. Okay, so hopefully that's better. You can see what is going on here. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the astrology, not loads, because a lot of it is already on my website, and I will be pulling some cards as well. I'm going to use the Spirit Song Tarot to do like a collective reading using the prompts on the astrology forecast as well. So that is going to happen. And then I didn't do anything else for this last time, but I am going to do a mid-year reset spread this time as well. So I've made like a printout of this. If you wanted to use it, you can kind of fit it in. I hope it's going to fit in my journal. I was going to print this a little bit smaller as well, but I knew I wanted some of them bigger. So yeah, I might need to kind of scale that down a little bit to do that, but that's the idea. I also made a page of like kind of titles, so you can use these through the month as well, because I have been putting these titles on my weeklies. Let me show you. So like here and here, so I've been like cutting out the titles and using them on my weekly, so I thought that would be handy as well. And then I made like a page of quotes because I thought that might also be useful. So I hope that is all good and that you're going to do it. Let me know if you're going to be like journaling along with me. Hang on, I want to move my laptop back a little bit so it's not like in the way of of the view on my desk. There we go. So this is all kind of new, this setup, but I'm trying to get it better, like sound wise and like picture quality wise and everything, so that it's a nice experience, you know, because journaling is like it's part of my spiritual practice. So let me swap it back so I can see you. So it is part of my spiritual practice, you know, a very important part of my spiritual practice. So I like to kind of be in sacred space, and today I do feel a little bit like it's been a rush and I'm not quite as prepared as I want to. So I'm just going to take a moment to just shift my energy into sacred space. I invite you to do the same, especially if you are going to be journeying along with me, or even if you're just like hanging out and having a cup of tea. That is also cool. You know, we've got a lovely community here as well, so you know, enjoy the chat. I should have said hello. I'm Jessica. I'm like a spiritual guide, mentor. I help people who sort of feel disconnected from themselves and from their intuition, find their way back to themselves again, to their purpose, to their intuition, using astrology and moon aligned journaling, and goddess connection is a very important part of that as well. So that is who I am. I probably know most of you here. Let me flick back to the chat to see if anyone's saying hello, and then we will make a start. Let me know if you've got your if you've got your journal out. Yay, Thea's here, made it to the live chat. Hi, Thea. Yeah, there's only a couple of us hanging out today, which it makes sense because I didn't get the stream up, so most people didn't know that this was even happening today. But that's probably for the best, considering I was a little bit disorganized. So I think I'm actually going to print another copy of this journal ephemera in like a smaller. So I'm going to send that to my printer while we are getting started, because I'm going to want the I'm going to put 2 pages to sheet, so basically like half the size. So I'll send that to print, and I will need to go and disturb the stream again to go and do that, but at least we are here, we are ready. So let's shift into sacred space. I'm going to light my candle. And just land here in sacred space. Lovely. Okay. That feels better already. It does. That feels much better already. Okay, let's make a start. Let me switch it back so you can see what I'm doing on my desk. I'm sure this will all be seamless soon. It's just that at the moment there's a lot of moving parts. Okay, so I'm switching back to here. So let's, like I said, we're going to be making a quote page and just like a title page first of all. So let me get to the next available page in my journal. I am actually going to, I like to use tabs for my months so I can find them. I use these like square tabs for my months, and then I use the rounded tabs for the month so that I can easily, like, you know, this is a month, this is a month, this is a month, you know, so I'm going with the moon cycles, because in my journal I like to kind of have the mundane stuff, well, the calendar I suppose and things with the month, but then I do my goal planning and things like that with the moon cycle because that is more effective. So I'm going to make a tab that sits underneath this May tab. So I'm just going to find where that ends. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I like to have it being 6, and let's cut that. So yeah, let me know, are you setting up? I know it's kind of soon, it's only the 17th of May and I'm already setting up my June and spread, but I don't, like, I quite like to be kind of ahead in my journal because, like, I'm already starting to think about what I'm going to be doing, especially for June for me because it's my birthday month as well. So I sometimes add some extra spreads in for my birthday month because there's, like, you know, because it's a celebration, it's a celebratory month. So I might be doing some extra things. So yeah, even though it's kind of early, hopefully it doesn't feel too early. Let me have a look. Oh, yay! People have found in the chat. Oh, hi Gina. So I've put a link up at the top of the chat for the printables. So if you want to go and print out the printables, feel free to do that. Hey Savannah. Hey Alison. Hi Isabel. Yay! Oh, you've got the printables and you're going to be journaling along, Deb. That's lovely. That's really cool. So let's make a start then. So these are kind of very free flowing, these kind of first 2 pages. I'm going to use this quote because I wanted that's the one that kind of, the thing about June is that we've got some lots of good Jupiter stuff. We've got some juicy Jupiter stuff going on. So we've got Jupiter moving into Cancer, which is the sign where it's exalted. So Jupiter's been in Gemini for like a year pretty much now, and in Gemini Jupiter is not, like in traditional astrology we have places where the planets are like said to be much more happy and able to express themselves properly. And then there's other places where they don't do so well. So Jupiter's been in Gemini, which is a place where it doesn't do so well. So it's been there for a year, and Jupiter is that planet that loves to like expand and give luck and all this kind of thing. So I don't know if you've noticed it around you, but I feel like it has been a year where people have been a little bit more like less expansive, you know, like Jupiter hasn't been able to kind of expand quite so much. Whereas when it gets into Cancer, that is a place where it's exalted. And so it has this beautiful expansive quality. And so I've gone with this kind of like journeying theme. We also get the Sagittarius full moon in June as well. So that is going to be a very expansive full moon ruled by Jupiter. So it's bringing all of that kind of like Jupiter energy in. And so I just thought a travel theme would be perfect for that. I did want to grab, I've got a couple of like travel washies which I was going to get out which I haven't, but I will try and do that as we go along without it being too disruptive. So it's lovely that some of you are journaling with me. That is really nice to hear. And yes, if you want to grab the printables, then please do. Bex is saying, I can't believe we're almost halfway through May. I know it has gone ridiculously quickly, but we're not quite, you know, like there's still May left, isn't there? But it's nice. I just feel better. I feel like on track. It helps me, my nervous system feel calm when I feel prepared, I suppose, is the essence of it. So I've printed this out on like sticky paper. So you can, if you've got that, you can do that. But if you don't, you can just print it out on normal paper, and you can just, you know, stick it in. Use a glue stick or something to stick it in. So I'm going to use that as my quote. We are not going in circles, we are going upwards. The path is a spiral. We've already climbed many steps. And I love that so much because it's just got that idea of circles and spirals. So even though we come like round and round in the wheel of the year again and again, we're not ever coming back to exactly the same place. We are spiraling. It's a spiral path. And so, yeah, I just really like that. And I did add some like little, like kind of map type stickers and washies and things. So I think I'm going to just take a few of these, make it simple. That's the idea behind these printables. Like it does take quite a bit of time to make these, but you know, like I'm just using clip art and things like that from Canva, but it makes it kind of fun and sort of easy to just make something that looks lovely, I think, as well, when you kind of layer up some of these elements. So I hope you enjoy using the printables. And yeah, the link for that, if you missed it, is at the top of the chat. And if you're watching the replay, I will have gone back and added a proper thumbnail and everything to the video so that you can see, you'll be able to download it from there as well. And I'll add all the other links and things in as well, because there's a link to, like, we've got a really lovely community over on Discord, which I know lots of you are in. We've also got a Facebook group, although that has been very quiet. I've been basically not really using Facebook this year really so much, but Discord I do like to use because, you know, there's no algorithm. We're just you can kind of engage and see and pick up where you left off with different threads, but there's no pressure. You know, it's a nice space. And I got the app on my phone now, so I can easily check in with it when I want to. So I'm just taking a couple of these things. Oh, hi Nicole, hi Carol. Plainly says happy to be here. I'm going to try to journal along. Yay! Yeah. So it's kind of early, like I say, to be getting set up for June, but also kind of not. I also find, I don't know if you find this as well, that during the summer months, time moves faster when it's warm. I don't know if there's a scientific explanation for that, but it definitely feels like things kind of speed up when it's the summer. And, you know, like I know not for everybody it'll be the summer in June if you're in the southern hemisphere, but for me here in Wales it's the summer, and it very much feels like summer here at the moment. We've had some really like glorious weather, and yeah, it just feels kind of, I'm going to try and layer these things up, I think, in like a pretty way. That picture's kind of Is that going to work? Not really. Maybe I'll put that like that. And then we'll put this at the bottom like that. So I think I'm just going to keep it quite simple. I did kind of get a bit carried away last time and added more and more things. I do feel like I want something kind of behind that note though, like something thin. So I'm going to have a little rummage through my ephemera. I've got like a whole box of ephemera here. I have got some smaller, a little small box of bits and bobs as well. So let's see what's in here. What would be nice would be like a kind of a page from a map. But I don't have that. Maybe something like that would be nice though. It's a little bit similar in colour to my quote though. So perhaps not that. What else have I got? There's all, oh look, I just found something that's got like little travel stickers on there. That's funny. Maybe I'll keep those out to use. I don't even know where I got those from. Perhaps a couple of them. Yeah, I think that's going to be too much the same colour. But if I use some of these like thin handmade papers, that might be what the kind of vibe that I want. Yeah, so that's looking cute and quick. You know, that's the great thing about collage, is that it's very easy to do it quickly as well. I'm going to use the lighter colour one on the left actually. Stick that down first and get my glue stick. Hiya Megan. Cooking lunch but hanging out. That's all good. What you're having for lunch? Something nice, I hope. And yes, Nicole, birthday month for us Geminis. So that's also fun. And like, you know, we need our journals to be even more special on the birthday month. I never know with this one which way up it's supposed to be. It looks really pretty both sides. I'm just not going to worry about it. Normally I would kind of tear these, and I might tear this one to make like a kind of rough edge. So it's not too like neat. Yeah, so let's do that, and we'll just overlap it a little bit on there like that. Problem with these, you've got to, they are quite thin. Yeah, nice. Okay. Thea's late with May. I remember seeing your comment though, Thea, on when I did the May live stream. And so I think, you know, like you can't have been that late if you were watching it then, or did you just watch it and not do your spread, which, you know, that's also totally valid. So I'm going to put this little like fake washi sticker here. I'm trying to kind of cover up these neat edges because I don't want those neat edges at all. I quite like, I don't mind that two-tone effect I've got going on here. My quote. And like you can obviously use a different quote. I did make this one a little bit bigger because I knew it was the one that I wanted to use. So if you're going to use that one on the printout, then you've already got it a little bit bigger ready. But if not, then you can use, I want to kind of overlap that over the map. But that has got like a kind of background on it, so it does need to kind of be this way up. I think that works. I'll stick that there. I feel like I want something, I might get a little bit of washi actually and stick like a little strip of something kind of light and neutral. Let's have a look. I've got a few that will probably be good for this spread, so I'm actually going to pull some of them off. Like that map, I'm definitely going to want that. Don't so much want these. The newspaper might work for it. I do want some of those like kind of neutrals. Pop the rest of these back on here. Yeah, I've left the newspaper for now. I might change my mind about that in the future. I feel like I had another one that was like kind of adventure-y. Let's have a look. I've got this long strip of them here. I forget sometimes like what I've even got. I'm gonna add that one in. Okay, let's pop those away. And I think they'll do for now. I have got this like script one I might bring down. Yeah, okay, that's good. I also got a couple from Notebook Therapy that are like in my basket that I'm going to use as well. So like it's these sort of tones, you know, these kind of like vintagey travel, not these little ones, these have sneaked in inside inside my other washies. This kind of vibe, you know, that is what I'm going for this time. So what will be good? I don't think I want the other map. Maybe use a little bit of this. This is a summer solstice tape, and I've used it in like little sections. So I want to kind of there, and then I'll pop this sticker then over the top. Yeah, nice. Okay, so it's just very like neutral tones I'm going for in this with this spread. If I can get the stickers off. Talked about that last time. How it's a bit tricky sometimes. So I think there. Yeah, I mean, like, see how quick that was using the printable. It just is like, oh, okay, dun, 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 done. Yeah, so that's fun and easy. I can put my washies to one side there a second. Okay, so now I want to make like my title page. So I'm going to use one of these big dunes. I'll probably use one of those bold. I mean, you could just write this, which would also look lovely. Maybe I will just write it, you know, but that kind of seems like a bit of a waste of the printable. So maybe I will cut it. Go on. I'm going to cut it out. Oh, hi, Sharon. Yeah, the time has just kind of like run away with me today. I was like thinking I was up really early. Well, I say really early, like 6:45, so not like as early as some people I know, but like I felt like I was really on top of everything, and then I was like, oh, okay, it's like an hour before the live stream and I need to like make the thumbnail and everything, and then things just weren't cooperating, so I ended up still being like literally to the second, and I didn't even make like a you know, like an event or anything for it. So, but it's nice you guys have found it, so it's all good. It is all good. So June, let me look back at what I did in May. I felt like it was a little bit chaotic, what I did in May. But I also do, it is my birthday month. Like I might want to put some stickers and things on it of like what my plans and things are, maybe. And maybe I will use some of this book as a background here. Do you guys do anything special for your birthday month in your journal? I'm nosy, so let me know if you do. So yeah, I think it's going to need like a little bit of something to stand out though as well. So I might put it against, I might stick it on the black actually and do like a kind of double backed scenario. Oh, that's another thing I need to work out, is the way the focus is like changing. If I bring my hand up, oh, it's like lagging on here, but I can't seem to figure out how to get it to like not be, to be manual focus. So I'm going to need to try and figure that out as well. Well, not to be autofocus. I want to just stay on my journal and not be like jumping around every time I'm, yeah, testing it out. Well, this looks a bit neat now because I've cut around it just like that, but maybe it'll be okay because I've ripped the, oh, it's kind of cute. Okay. I feel like I want like a sunshine or something, and just maybe keep it really simple. And like I said, I might add some things to it then. Like I might add maybe some things about like what I'm doing in my birthday month, or maybe I'll just put stickers on that will go with that, actually, like kind of like a birthday cake or something like that. Let's see what I've got. I've got my this antiquarian sticker book, which is a bit of a weird one, but you never really know what you're going to find in here. Yeah. So where do you think cake? So they kind of loosely organise in letters. So if I'm looking for cake, then it should be here in C. These would be quite good actually for quote pages and things as well. Oh, I didn't have a lot of C items, did it? Well, that's a bit disappointing. I want to. Let's have a look under S for sun. Although sometimes this book is better when you just kind of like randomly flick through and see what presents itself. So I don't want all these like skulls. And yeah, these are also stickers. Like there's stickers in amongst these like patterns. So that's kind of fun as well. If I was organized, I would have also chosen my stickers, but you know, we're keeping it real here on the live. If we're doing it together, then it'll be, you know, it'll be all of us doing it together. It does take time, doesn't it? You know, like you can cut it down by finding things beforehand, prepping things beforehand, but in reality it doesn't really work like that. Well, I'm not really seeing what I want, but I do quite like that butterfly, so I might just use that. I think I might stick that, and then put the butterfly like here, and I think that'll be good for a title page. I am going to want to put some washi here. Maybe I'll use this one for that, because it's for my tab. I need it to stick out. And I have just like started doing this where I am in my journal, so like things will be a little bit out of order. Like I am going to do, next week is going to be on Saturday a video for the new moon, for the Gemini new moon, but it's that in theory should come first because it's in May, but I just don't worry about that. You know, I like just do it where I am in my journal, and then I've got the index so I can find the things if I need to. Although saying that, I haven't filled in my index yet because I haven't filled in a lot of my front matter, and I want to kind of know what is going to be in my front matter before I, you know, before I fill in. Let me show you rather than just rambling on about it. So I made like a sigil and a like an introduction page, and then I've made my index page, but then after that I've got all these juicy blank front matter pages that I have not yet put anything in. So I am still thinking about what I want to put in my in my front matter. But yeah, my journal's shaping up really nicely actually this year. I think it's, you know, like you have some years sometimes you're like, yeah, it's looking good. So I think I am going to add a few other elements. I think I'm going to add a strip of this. It's like a map, vintage map washi. So let's put some of that. I think I'm just going to do like a hole down the whole page. And I'll trim. So we have decided we're going to have I know some of you were here for our Beltane live event that we had on Zoom. We are going to have one for the summer solstice as well. So if you would like to come along to that, then I have got like a page on my website showing like where the link and everything is to register. But the best way to kind of like stay up to date with what is going on is to get the Moonday Magic Mail, and then you get some lovely messages once a week to your inbox as well if you do that. I'm gonna layer that on top of that as well. Like, I know not everyone does these title pages because they are kind of like kind of not necessary in a lot of ways, but I do like it, so I think that's nice. So I'm gonna layer those. Am I gonna, or should I bring it on? Yeah, kind of there, I think. So I'm gonna stick that down, and then I can stick my June on, and we are looking good. Oh, well, I hope the work does wait until after the live, Shan. I don't know how long it's going to take this time, but the replay will be here anyway, even if it doesn't. Yeah, so I'm going to put June there. I need to like tidy some of these up a bit as well. Oh, I forgot, I was trying to peel the backing off that then. I forgot I'd already stuck it down onto this. I'm going to need to use some glue for that. And this beautiful butterfly sticker. So it's not like properly travel themed, but I feel like it is very in keeping with the vibe. And like there are some more, I could use some more of these if I wanted to. Like, I could layer up some of these things on there as well. But at the moment, I don't feel like I want that. If anything, I might put that or that one there. I'm going to take that one and add that to that first page. I'm really looking forward to Jupiter in Cancer for a year. I think that's going to really help with everybody's vibe, especially if you are like a Jupiterian person. Like, my natal Jupiter is in Cancer, so it's a Jupiter return for me, and yeah, I'm just really looking forward to it. Yeah, that's helpful, I think, on there. I did this last time. I think I was like, yeah, I'm done when I did this, and then afterwards, so like, I don't think I added most of this while we were doing the live. I added more. I added like all these flowers later on because I felt like it needed to be kind of like a whole page. So maybe maybe that's what will happen with this one as well. It'd be nice actually to maybe stamp some things on here. Maybe I'll do that, but I haven't got any of my stamp stuff with me here now. Yeah, look, that's cute. Nice. I do feel like it's a bit like there could definitely be something else going on here, but I think I'm going to call that done for now and move on to the calendar, because we have got like a few spreads to do, and I do also want to talk to you about some of the astrology stuff as well. So let me cut this so I don't forget, and then I'll need to work out where the calendar is going to start. So this is my May calendar. So June is going to be starting on a Sunday, which makes it a little bit awkward, because then it makes it so like it doesn't properly fit in. So I might not do it like that. Let me get... So this always throws me off a little bit looking at it in the honeycomb, because it does start, it's like, does it from Sunday to Saturday? And I need to think of my calendar as going from like Monday. So, so I think I'm gonna, yeah, because how many rows is it otherwise? I could stick the 29 and 30, because it'll be 5 rows if I do the Sunday. It'll be 6 rows if I do it on its own. And I can't fit 6 rows if I use the same format as I did last time. So I think I'm just going to start with the Monday the 2nd, and I'll pop the Sunday at the end so it'll still fit in. You'll see what I mean now. So what it means is that my title for the month is probably going to have to go up this side instead, but that's okay. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 across, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 down. But this is a B5 journal, so if you're using something smaller, you'll need to like scale it down accordingly so that it'll fit in there. So I'm going to start at just the 1 down there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so also across here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I should do like a grid thing to like help me help me to do that, but that would just be way too sensible. So I'm going to use like a kind of like a buff color. It's the Tombow N79. Oh, Nicole saying I haven't before, but I hope to include favourite quotes or a birthday tarot spread. Yeah, lovely. I think it's nice adding something extra for birthdays. So I felt like this is kind of like a nice vintagey, kind of like grey brown. So at the bottom, I'm going to need to not go all the way across, because that's already 28 days. So I just want, I only want 29 actually, don't I? Because I'm going to be sticking the one on the, is that right? So June, the 1st of July is on a Tuesday. Yeah, so I just want one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I just want one at the other end as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hopefully that's in the right place. Okay. So let's join all those up and make the calendar. I find it tricky to chat while I'm doing this. So yeah, it's always like it doesn't look quite as nice when the months fall like this, but you know, it is what it is, so we will adapt to it. Like you could do it the other way up as well and have the gap like at the top and do the extra day from the end at the top kind of thing. I'm sure you see what I mean. There. Okay. So that should be the right number of days, I hope. And I want to just like cover up this raw edge here. So I'm going to use some of this. Nice. Okay. And you know, I might put, I mean, we've got plenty of like little, I've got lots of these little stickers and things, so I can use some of them. But I think I'd like to use maybe this one. It seems a shame to use that there though, because it's not flat. I'm going to use some of this one. To make like a background. Do I want it to go all the way up there maybe? Yeah, and then I'm going to layer on some of that, and then I'll stick some of the couple of stickers on top of it as well. Okay. So I'm not worrying too much about like matching the colours, as you probably can see. But they're all kind of like, to me, like those kind of like faded vintagey travel journal-y kind of colours. So I'll print out this little map, not map, a little globe. There we go. Again, I would quite like this heart somewhere, so I'm gonna cut that out ready so I can experiment with placing that. It's like a map heart. Okay, stick that in there. Oh, don't want to stick that in there though, otherwise I might put that away and lose it. So I've got my heart. I do want to have some more stickers on here, but I think I might just use some like some of the flower stickers, because I think that might be kind of neutrally in the background. And I do want another June now. I think I'm going to take one of these because it's like longer, and we'll kind of like space, it'll be in the space a bit better. Okay, so June. What do I want to do? And that at the top, maybe I do. Maybe I'll cut out some more of these. I've got this little Hello June as well. It could be kind of cute. Nice. Okay, so yeah, I'm not totally sure if I'm going to use that one. Let me move those stickers out of the way a minute and see what is going on. I obviously haven't put the numbers or anything on yet. Yeah, I think I'll overlap it there. That's kind of cute. And I'll put some flowers on this bit. And yeah, what happens here? Maybe a strip of washi as a background, or a couple of strips of washi. Maybe I'll use this map one again. Should I put it right against the calendar? I think I will. To kind of make it almost look a bit more like map-like itself. Oh, Shan usually do a birthday journal spread and it often lines up with a new journal. Yeah, it's nice when it's like your birthday is in a new journal. I've kind of I always used to start a new journal for the new year, and then I was like, right, I'm not going to do that anymore because it's like putting pressure on me to finish a journal when I'm going to be starting the new year kind of thing. Oh, now I'm looking at this again. I feel like it needs something else there. Might stick another strip of something here. And yeah, now I'm like, I'm sort of, it's just in between, and I'm like, I don't know. But it's nice when a new journal lines up just naturally with your year. Okay, got a nice little collection of washi offcuts over there now. Yeah, I do feel like I'm going to add some more to that, but let's come back here and get the June title calendar kind of sorted out first. Maybe I stick that like that and overlap the June onto there, and I'll stick something darker. Yes, that'll work nicely. Let's do the same and put a dark strip here. I can never quite get in that side of the scissors. And then I'm going to have my June, I'm going to have my map, I'm going to overlap them a little bit, I think. I really like that clip art. I was like, yes, when I found that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I think I need some of those like PET stickers. I don't even know if I can get to those because of the way that I've organised this filming setup. Is now blocked off my little pot of stickers. Oh dear, dear, dear. Okay, so I will have to come back to that. Let's put I'm going to put the names of the days and the numbers on. So let's do that next. Nice. So we're starting with the second, I need to remember, and not the first. So this one's the first down here. Yeah, okay, that's pretty good, I think. I'm quite happy with that. How are you guys getting on? I'm gonna, like I say, I probably will add some more like PET type stickers over the top of this so that I can still see the things through. I'll share like some photos of my finished ones, maybe on Instagram, but I'll definitely share them over on Discord when they're actually finished. And yeah, should we put some of the astrology stuff in now? Hang on, let me switch back over so I say it like so I can see you. It just feels more like I'm talking to you when I haven't got my journal open like that. Let's have a look. Okay, so hello, hi. I'm going to go over to my website where I've got the horoscopes for June. Let me grab the link of that actually, and I'll stick it over in the chat. So if you want to come over and have a look as well what your horoscope is for June, then you can do that. Oh, why is it not letting me? Let me close the chat and then reopen it. It's like not letting me scroll up the chat to actually stick it in. Why is that happening? That's weird. Let me see if it'll let me do it now. Okay, I think I can. Oh, no. No, for some reason it's not letting me see the bottom of the chat. Oh, hang on. No, I can. I got it. I've got it. Okay, so that is the link for the astrology forecast. Yes, I'm doing a Monday start calendar. Oh, I can see some more of the chat now. Nicole saying butterflies symbolize growth and change. So it definitely goes with the theme. Yes, I definitely like butterflies and dragonflies are recurring. They're a recurring theme for me in my life as well, and definitely goes with that idea of spiraling, also with that idea of growth, expansion, definitely. Okay, so on that link that I just shared with you, there is like an overview of June, the June forecast. Like if it's a little bit too soon for this for you, then don't, like feel free to not worry about it until it gets closer to the time. But yeah, basically June, I'm really quite excited about June because like I actually think this year, apart from April, has kind of been getting steadily easier as we've been going through. Like the astrology has been a lot since 2020 really, and this year is a very like, it is like literally like a pivotal year. It's a year where so many different like big shifts are happening in the astrology, and June I think is looking really nice because we've got both of the benefics. We've got Jupiter and Venus both going into places where they are happy, so we've got Jupiter, like I said earlier on, in Cancer, where it's exalted. It's going to be just really able to kind of do its thing a lot. Yes, there is some tension going on between Jupiter and Saturn and Neptune. We have got a square happening, but Jupiter is in a really good position in Cancer, so I feel like that is going to be good. That's going to be good for us, especially if we're kind of like Jupiterian people, if we're generous, if we're kind of looking for win-win situations, it's like we win and the other person wins, that kind of stuff. Jupiter's really supportive of those kind of setups, not so much like the kind of scramble to the top, kind of top down vibes. Jupiter's like, no, we all win kind of thing, like a rising tide raises all boats, that kind of vibe. That, and then we've also got Venus, which is in Aries, and Venus is going to be moving out of Aries and into Taurus. And Venus is at home in Taurus. I love Venus in Taurus. It's such a just a sort of sensual, grounded, embodied, it's really picking up those themes that I've been working on, all the stuff I've been working on in May, and taking it over into Taurus, in June as well. So I'm really excited for that as well. So we've got both the benefics, Venus and Jupiter, in strong positions. It's like, yes, brilliant. We've also got Mars moving further away from that opposition with Pluto, which has kind of been in play since autumn last year. That's been going on a really long time. It also means that even though Mars has already cleared its retrograde shadow, where that's the kind of space where it has retrograded, it's actually going to be leaving Leo altogether and moving into Virgo. So I think it's going to be like a fresh start kind of vibes as well in June. It's like, if things have still felt like there's almost like hangovers from last year, this year, like this month, when we go into June, it's going to feel like the beginning of the year, maybe, in a way, which was one of the reasons why I wanted to do a reset as well, because it's like it's a really good time to do that now, astrologically, as well as it being like halfway through the year as well. Yes, like I said, we do have that square between Jupiter, Saturn and Neptune, so that is going to be something to kind of look at. We have got Saturn in Aries, which is like a new for us. We have got Saturn, Neptune kind of coming closer to making a conjunction, which they don't do until next year, but there is like a tension, like an underlying tension between like reality and fantasy with this kind of like coming conjunction between them. And it's kind of like, I feel like there's going to be some people who are saying like, don't dream, get real kind of thing. And there's going to be another kind of group of people who are going to be like, we need to dream even bigger now, And I think, like, as always, the reality, the easier way forward is actually like a combination of those two things, so that we actually kind of like, we dream big, but we also are looking for like the practical, the real. We're not looking to kind of like kind of magic. Well, we are looking to magic because we're witches, but we don't expect to do it without hard work. We don't expect to just land in our laps, We're going to be looking for opportunities, and like opportunity would be a really good keyword for June as well, with those two benefics in their own signs. So yeah, I am excited about it. We've got some really interesting moons, like we got lunations, we've got the new moon and the full moon. We've got the Sagittarius full moon, which is really like I'm getting ahead of myself now. Let me scroll down. So that was just like the intro, but I kind of riffed on that a little bit. I'm reading through my site now as well. And then I've got the transits at a glance for June, which takes you through like basically a blow by blow of like whenever anything is happening, what they're on the dates. So those are all in there. And like, it is a bit much sometimes to just have all those dates together. So if you do sign up for Moonday Magic Mail, which I hope you do, because it's just, I really love writing them, and I know lots of people really enjoy receiving those mails. And it gives you like a weekly overview, like a bite-sized overview of the astrology. It's not like as cool as Chinese if you've got Chinese, but it like, I prefer it, but then obviously I'm biased. Yeah, so it gives you like a kind of overview, and also like some journaling prompts and things like that to go with the astrology. So that's good for like breaking it down. And then I've got like the key themes. So we've got some interesting stuff with Mercury. So Mercury's really active at the beginning of the month, like the first week, and June, like we're going into Gemini season. So we've got that like Mercury's already very activated. And then at the end of the month as well, so Mercury's moving really quickly, but by the end of the month it's starting to slow down, because it is going to be retrograde in July. Is it going to be in July or August? It's leading up to a retrograde anyway. I think it is in July. So we've got that kind of aspect. So when Mercury is very active, there's a lot of opportunities for like mental activity, communication, also healing. I think that's really interesting. Also play, especially like word play, but again, opportunities coming in. Like we can create opportunities through connections, through social connections. And again, like we have got Venus moving into Taurus as well, so there is that help coming for like making connections. But yeah, Mercury then does go into Cancer, where Jupiter is as well, which does I put like invites emotional integration, but it's not as like, Mercury's not as at home in Cancer as it is in Gemini. So it's kind of like most at home at the beginning of the month, and then later on in the month it's going to be like zooming all the way into Leo. So it's going to be picking up some of that stuff with Saturn and Neptune, but also opposing Pluto. So there's like, I feel like the communication is going to be more fun at the very beginning of the month, and then it might get a little bit more like emotional, meaningful through while we've got Mercury in Cancer, and then at the end of the month there's more chance for like, I think like even like divination to bring up things like, you know, like why am I still in this pattern, that kind of stuff. You know, you can kind of like dredge through that stuff when we've got Mercury opposing Pluto, but it's still in Leo, you know, so it's like still bringing that kind of, it's bringing things to light, bringing things up to the light. Yeah, so Venus and Jupiter step into strength. I've already talked to you about that. That's Venus and Jupiter being in their you know, like the places that they like hanging out, basically. Yeah, let me check back in with the chat in case anyone's asked any questions. Oh, Savannah, yeah, like I think, and this is why I'm offering this as well, like, because you don't need to know, like hopefully I am explaining like what this stuff means, but yeah, like having the Moon Day Magic Mail will help to kind of like break the things down. And just observing, like I think a lot of people learn astrology almost as like a subject sometimes, but they don't integrate it into their lives. And like I do have a course, a foundations course, which explains like basically how to use astrology in your life, and that will be running again September, October time of this year. So, you know, that might be something, but in the meantime, like Moon Day Magic Mail is great. There's so many amazing resources for astrology available now as well. So like the astrology podcast, and just so much stuff. It's like really good to try and find an astrologer or a few astrologers that you vibe with, that you really like kind of like get their way of explaining things, because I think that's really, really helpful. It's like, it speaks to you then, you know, the people who kind of explain it in a way that speaks to you. And yeah, the Sagittarius full moon on the 11th, we've got that Jupiter being into Cancer, and then we got this gorgeous Jupiter ruled Sagittarius full moon. It's just like, just really expansive. And yes, we have got that Jupiter Saturn Neptune thing going on, but it's still, I think it's still gonna be a really great time, especially for like expanding our horizons, and like whether that's like physically, whether through like travel or moving house or something like that, or it might be like in a metaphorical way, you know, like learning, study. It might be through like kind of getting out of your comfort zone in places, you know. There's lots of possibility for that Sagittarius full moon. And yeah, I talked about Mars leaving Leo for Virgo. That is also happening. And then yeah, Cancer season. So we're into Cancer season, and the sun goes into Cancer on the 21st on the solstice. That's also when we're going to be having our free community circle as well, if you want to come along to that. And we've got the new moon on the 25th then as well in Cancer. So the Cancer new moon is always a lovely new moon, because it is the moon's own sign, you know. So it's kind of like, there's a lot of vibes with the Cancer new moon. It can be like a little bit emotional sometimes, but usually like in a good way, like in a way of like kind of like clearing things out. So I'll like do a video about that new moon, and like I'll do a setup and stuff and explain a little bit more about that Cancer new moon when we come to it as well. So yes. And then June's key questions. So I want to use these for the cards I'm going to pull now. So I've got 4 key questions. I don't know if I'll do all of these for the cards, we'll see. So what truth or vision has crystallized through recent shifts, and how can I honor it now? So that's kind of tying into quite a few different things. So we've got Neptune has moved into Aries. We have got Saturn going to be moving into Aries as well. So there's a lot of those like kind of big shifts going on, like I was saying. And also like the things like Venus clearing retrograde shadow and moving into different sign, and Mars clearing and going into a different sign, you know, those things as well, those shifts. So it's like there's been a lot of happenings going on since since the end of last year, and not like we have had a few months of integration, but there was still kind of like hangovers. So it's now we're going to get a little bit more clarity over what has actually shifted. So that's why I wanted to ask that particular question. And where do I need to soften and where do I need to strengthen? So that's like my thinking with a few different other things that are going on with Mars, but also with Sagittarius, the full moon, and also with that Cancer new moon as well. So where do I need to soften? Where do I need to strengthen? You know, because it's not just like either or. And then what am I ready to begin? Not just emotionally, but practically. So, you know, we have got that kind of like impetus starting as well in June, you know, like a new cycle when we've got those shifts that have kind of like finished and then we're ready to kind of start with something else. We will be having that Mercury retrograde as well. So it might be more of like an information gathering, kind of preparatory time. But yeah, we're kind of like getting into it. And then how can I channel my energy with more focus and intention now that Mars is in Virgo? So I don't think I'll do that one because Mars isn't actually in Virgo like until later on in the month. So maybe I'll come back to that one. But that would be a really good one to ask, particularly on that Mars into Virgo shift. And then if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of that page, there's the horoscopes as well. So there's horoscopes for all of the different signs as well. So, you know, that'll give you a more specific to you what is going on in the month. It's got like themes, then some key areas, and then an invitation for you as you're going through the month. So let me know if those resonate for you. If you read them, be like, okay. It's ideal if you read for your rising sign, if you know it, but if not, you can read for your sun and moon sign, or you can read for all three. You know, I know sometimes people like to read for their sun, moon, and rising. Yeah. Oh, Savannah, I'm glad you've been enjoying the newsletter. Yeah. Cool. So let's set up. I'm going to leave the calendar where it is for now. I will write on some of the astrology transits and stuff like that, but that took quite a long time when we did that last month. So I'm going to leave that as it is for now. Let's turn over. I'm going to cut my edge off so that my tabs work. I think my candle might have gone out. It was looking a little bit. Oh no, it is still going. Just very, very small. So let me show you the page from last time. It was this. So it's like the cards and the astrology. So this time I've actually made a printout to be the trying to shake the rest of the things off. I've made a printout to be the title. It's a little bit big, maybe. I don't know. Like I have printed this out a little bit smaller as well. So maybe I'll go and grab that slightly smaller version to use. Like I said, I printed like 2 sheets on one. So now I can make it smaller. I'm going to go and do that. And that means I'll also get all of the stickers a bit smaller too, which will be helpful. So I'm just going to make it kind of like look pretty really, and then write the prompts, and then we'll pull some cards and see what comes out for that. So I'll go and grab that printout. I'm actually going to grab a glass of water as well because I didn't grab that because I was stressing getting everything ready at the start. So chat amongst yourselves, carry on journaling, and I'll be back in a second. Frodo knew I was coming back. He didn't even get off his beanbag. Okay, so I can't remember if you're looking at me or not now. Let me go back and switch it so you can see my desk. There we go. That's better. So this is the smaller. So it's exactly the same. Only I've put, instead, like when you go to print, you can choose to do 2 pages on one page. So it's just made it like half of the size. So that's going to make it, it's also going to make these quote stickers really useful as I go through the month as well. I'll be able to stick those in. I thought they were cute. Took a long time. Spent too long doing that, but it was kind of fun. So that's good. So I'm going to use this as my title. So let me cut that out. The June cards and astrology. Okay, so that's going to be my header. But I am going to stick some, I don't know what really. I think I'll put some washi behind it. That's almost a bit small actually. Maybe I will use this big one. Is that going to be too big? Let's try it and see. I can take a bit off the end, can't I? Yeah, I think that's actually better. It's a better size. Okay. Right. I'm going to use, I want to like have a strip of colour behind. I'm going to take it onto the other page as well. Just to like kind of tie it together. I think I'm going to stick that there and then put a sticker here. Let's do that. Nice. And what sticker shall I use? I've got this like compass. Maybe I'll use that. Or this butterfly. Maybe I'll cut both of those out and might use one down the bottom as well. So I've taken the theme into the reset as well. I've done it before where I used like I made it look like a sunflower because it's like a mid-year, and that was kind of the vibe I was going for in my journal that year. So I'll show you that one, the kind of idea of it. But this time, because I was doing the travel theme, I've made it look like a compass because I thought that's also round. That works for the so that's okay, but I'm not completely in love with it. Let's try this. I think I could not have the directions on it. So I'm going to do both. I'm going to take this one as well, and I'm going to layer those two up. I think that'll be nice. And it's good because it's like the astrology and the cards, they are kind of providing me with the direction, you know, for what I'm going to be experiencing in this month. So I like that I've got the kind of direction like symbols there as well. Yeah, that's nice. So let's do that. Oh, Savannah, I'm glad you're loving the theme. Yes, Jazz is Beanbag King. He's so funny. Like that beanbag was like, it used to be in my living room, and I took it out Christmas time because I needed to move it to put the tree. And I just kind of threw it in here because I thought, what else am I going to do with it? And I knew he liked to lie on it, so I was like, I won't get rid of it, you know, like I won't take it upstairs or shove it in the attic or something. I'll keep it down. And he's used it so much that I feel like I can't possibly take it away from him now. He loves to come and hang in here on the beanbag. So it's now basically in my room, even though really like this room is quite small and like it's lovely. I love it, but it's not the biggest of rooms. So yeah, he's just, yeah, he dictates what's going on with a lot of things. I want a bit darker one than that. What have I got here? This will probably work. So yeah, I thought that the travel theme as well was just so on point with the astrology. It's just, I like it when it all kind of comes together like that. The end of that bit of washi, and so I need to stick a bit of glue behind that because it's just not sticking down. Stay. Okay, so I might use my butterfly there. That looks cute. Oh no, I'm ripping it in half. So you've got to watch that with these because they are just paper. I think it'll still work. Stop sticking to my fingers. Right, there we go. Nice. Okay, so I'm gonna write down, let's choose. Let me go back to the blog post, go back to those questions. So I'm just gonna do, so I'm not gonna do the Mars in Virgo, and I'm gonna do what truth or vision is crystallized through recent shifts and how can I honor it now. So I'll do a read for like all of us here, and then I might do a separate read for myself and write it down. I'll log it down, so I won't like I won't make you watch me while I do that. So I think I use this pen to do the questions. So I'm just going to write them out. So I'm going to have what truth or vision, what truth, I'm going to just put / vision has crystallized do you know what? I think that's like one card. What truth / vision is crystallized through recent shifts. And so I'm going to put in how can I honor that now as a separate. How can I honor that or honor those shifts? Oh, honor those. It's honor that truth, really, isn't it? How can I honor that truth? Okay. And yeah, I think I'm going to do where do I need to soften and where do I need to strengthen? Or maybe should we do what am I ready to begin? You know, for the collective, like, is it going to make more sense to do what are we ready to begin? Like, what are we moving in? I think it probably does. So let's do that one. We'll do what am I ready to begin? What am I ready to begin? Not just emotionally, but practically. So we'll have those 3 questions. What truth or vision is crystallized through recent shifts? How can I honor that truth now? And then what am I ready to begin? So let's pull 3 cards for that. I'm going to use the Spirit Song Tarot, mainly just because I've been using it recently and enjoying it. It does kind of go, you know, like it's kind of vintagey, but it's not, I don't know if I've got a deck that would go perfectly with this theme, but we'll see. Right. So let's give those a shuffle. So generally when I'm like doing tarot journaling, I'll just write the questions, I'll pull the cards, I'll write the answers. Sometimes I'll take a photograph of the cards as well that have come out so that I will remember, like I usually make a note of which deck it is if I don't do that. Do you know what? I think I'm going to shift it back to me so that we can do this bit. Yep. So I'm going to pull 3 cards as a collective read for June. How long have we been? We've already been 1 hour and 20. So well done if you're still with me. It's a long live stream. But if you are journaling yourself, it does take, like, it takes a while, doesn't it, doing a monthly setup. Okay. There we go. So let's have a look. What truth or vision is crystallized through recent shifts? Look what we've got. Oh, can you see that? It's the star card. I love that. Peace and healing. And I'm so excited to see that card come up, because I was kind of a little bit concerned that it might have been something a little bit more combative, I suppose, with the way things have kind of been going. I love that it's a swan, which is another a bird that is very much connected with Jupiter as well. So we've got that kind of Jupiter energy coming in now, and it's like kind of like circling around this star. So we've got this like watery, so it's very Jupiter in Cancer actually as well with that star. Like the star card technically is connected with Aquarius, which is where Pluto is at the moment. So we have got that kind of like underworldy energy. I feel like what it's saying is that what has probably been crystallized, the truth that kind of has come up, that has been crystallized for us now, is like where our broken parts are, the bits that are broken. Those are the things that have kind of like bubbled up to the surface for us while all this kind of craziness of the last 9 months almost has been happening. And now we are like, you can't heal things if you don't know what they are. And so it feels like this card is so beautiful. It's like, it's showing us we've done the kind of hard work. We are now aware. So what is it that you are aware of that you weren't aware of, like, you know, last summer, that has kind of come up for you in between now and last summer, and you're like, now, I know that this is a thing for me and it's something that I want to be working on moving forward. What is that? You know, that is the truth that is crystallized. I mean, it's gorgeous because it means we are healing that. So how can I honor that truth? And we've got the 7 of Acorns, which is the 7 of Wands. So it's got that, like, let me show you the card. I don't even know what animal it is. It kind of looks like a bit badgery, but maybe it's an otter. Let me show you the picture. I'll look in the book now as well to see. This is the only problem with this now. I don't know where the camera is to show you. I'll flick it back onto my desk so you can see the cards in a second as well. But yeah, that's 7 of Acorns, 7 of Wands. The keywords are determination, stamina. So it's like, how can I honor that truth? We honor that truth of we've unearthed that thing that needs to be healed, or more than one thing perhaps that is like needs healing in us. And the way that we honor that is like we actually do the work. We get stuck in, you know, we bring our energy to that space so that we can start to shift those things. We don't just kind of let it be passive. It's a very like active working on it process. So that'll be interesting, especially as it comes out in the mid-year reset as well. There might be some things which are like quite shifted quite a lot from how things were before. And then the last one is like, what am I beginning now? What am I ready to begin now? Okay, so we've got the Chariot, which is the card of Cancer. That card of where Jupiter is going into in Cancer. And also we are going to be going into Cancer season at the end of June. We're going to have Mercury in Cancer. Cancer is having a lot of activations. We've got this rhinoceros on this card, you know, very focused, in fact, what are the keywords? Discipline, determination. You know, I said about that Saturn, Neptune stuff and how it's going to be like, we can dream, we can heal, we can have like, we can be really like just expansive, you know, especially with that Jupiter as well, of what we want to be doing in our lives, what we want to be bringing into the world. But it needs to have that sense of like practical purpose with that Saturn being there as well. So I feel like this is picking up on that. Like it might feel, and like rhinoceroses, they are is that even right, or is it rhinoceri? They are normally kind of like slow and steady, but then they can also sometimes charge as well. So you have got that kind of like, sometimes things will be like kind of plodding along, and then sometimes things can move really, really quickly as well. So with the Chariot, it's like we are the master of our own destiny, you know, if we step up to that role. Really interesting. We've only pulled 3 cards and we've had 2 majors come out here. I'm going to flick back to the chat to see if there was any questions about that, and if not, then yeah. So I've just been looking into the light, so now it's like I can't see what's going on very much. Savannah says sovereign alignment. Yes. Karen says I joined late, so I'm watching you live on my TV, and then I'm watching the beginning on my iPad. Oh, cute, Karen. So I'm live on TV. Hi, it's Karen's TV. Yes, sovereign alignment. I love that. Let's have a little look in the book to see what animals these are, because that's one of the things I like about it. Like I'm confident about those 2, but I'm not quite sure what that one is. But so let's look up that 7 of Acorns. And see what the message is for that. It is a badger. Yeah, it kind of looks like a badger, but then it also kind of looks like watery for some reason. But badgers are like, they stand their ground. And also do you have badgers in the US, or is that just a UK thing? I'm not even sure. But they will very much protect their family as well. So there's that kind of like protective element, which also often comes in with Cancer. You know, Cancer, the symbol of Cancer is the crab. So we have got that kind of like protective energy that is going on. Oh, Savannah saying sovereign alignment shows up every time you comment. That's so funny though, because sovereign alignment, I think, is really on point for these, because it is that idea of like taking our like that's a brilliant business name. I love it. But it also is bringing that idea of like being the master of our own destiny, choosing our own destiny as we move through. Yeah, that's so weird though that I haven't noticed it before. Maybe that's odd. So yeah, I think it must have been on point for it to have come out in that time. So the message: fearless badger fights for his values and never settles for less than he deserves. His manner of leadership drives him to stand up to opposition without backing down. Badger will help you seize the energy of determination to meet any challenges you're facing. Yeah, so he's coming to help us with the stuff, you know, like with our healing stuff. It's like, because a lot of the time when we've found out things that we need to heal, it's like, it's not in isolation, it's to do with other people as well, you know. So there's sometimes shifts that need to be made, boundaries that need to be drawn with other people. And so I feel like this coming up has been like, it's bringing a quality of like assertiveness to that. So in turn, your leadership abilities will begin to break through. Be prepared to defend your principles with faith and courage. Even if it feels like the odds are against you, take a stand. By facing fears, you grow stronger. Yes, that's really interesting for that Saturn Neptune as well. Let nothing deter you. Certitude within yourself will steadily lead you towards a bright future. And that is so much, like I talk about this all the time. It's like when we feel solid, sovereign in ourselves, everything else is just so much easier, because then we're not battling against ourselves. You know, we can move from a place of that deep knowing, that deep kind of certainty and knowing. So keywords: determination, stamina, challenge, inner strength, holding your own, and principles. Yeah. Okay, great. So those are lovely cards to come out for the collective reading. I don't know if I'll write those or whether I'll pull some cards of my own to fill in this side, but that's what I'm going to be doing here on this side. And then over here I'm going to write a little bit about the astrology. I did make some headings if you want to use them. We've got these, so it's kind of like the themes. So this is all over in that horoscope that I shared. So like for me, what I'll be writing, I'm going to scroll down and very like self-centeredly read your mind. So my themes for June are expansion, truth, and creative self-expression. So I'm excited for that. The key areas of the Sagittarius full moon on the 11th helps to release limiting beliefs around your voice or your worth. How are you expressing yourself, and is it really you? And then Venus in Taurus from the 6th grounds your deeper emotional bonds, while Mars in Virgo from the 17th encourages healing through solitude or sacred routines. Yeah, because that's picking up in my 12th house. And then the Cancer new moon on the 25th brings fresh intentions in your public role or career. And my invitation then is, don't underestimate the quiet work happening behind the scenes. Let it strengthen your next leap forward. So that is what I'm going to be kind of like putting on here. And then I'll also be like, I'll add some other kind of like notes of like personal transits that are happening in that time as well. But I do want to make a little space like I did last time for reflections as well, which I haven't filled in yet because it's not the end of the month. I'll do that like at the end of May, but I'll just make a little, let me use that same, I'll just put a little space here for reflections. So the reflections are specifically kind of, and I also made a label for that if you prefer to not write it as well, but I kind of like the kind of word in the line. So I tend to, like, my reflections are tied into this stuff. So it's like, did what I pulled the cards about, did that kind of like manifest, or how did it manifest? And also the astrology, like how has that actually played out? So that's kind of where I try to keep it like focused on those things. Okay, I'm going to try and turn this light off from being in my face because it is very bright. There we go. Got it. Brilliant. I can see. That is much better. So let me see if there's anything in the chat. Okay, no. So everyone's just getting on with their journals. Everyone's fine, happy. That is great. So let's go back to the journaling. I should have done that so you can see. So that was me writing my reflections down here. I just write it like in the line of my journal. So that is that page. And then the extra spread for June is going to be a mid-year reset. So I've made all of this as a printable, so you can basically just kind of cut it out and stick it in. I've printed this one a little bit smaller, so I think I am going to use this like slightly smaller version because this one is just going to be a little bit too big. I think I should have sized it. I should have sized it down a little bit. It's going to be too wide. I don't like, you could, it would be quite feasible to cut it out and stick it. In fact, maybe I will do that. Maybe I'll do it in the center. And would that work? I think I will. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this big one because it will be easier to see the scores on this. And then I'm going to show you my one that I'd made last time so you can see the kind of, some of you have seen that already, but if you haven't, then I'll share that with you now. It was from like 2022, I think. I found it in one of my older journals. I'm building up quite a stack of journals. Oh my gosh, I almost cut out the W. I don't want to keep that. I want to keep that. I like the compassy placements with directions on there as well. Yeah, I burned all my journals a few years ago, but since then I've been keeping them, and I actually don't, like at the moment, I feel like I will continue to keep these ones. Like maybe it will be appropriate in the future to burn them, but it just feels like at the moment they're still very much relevant, and I am still kind of like checking back in with them. So, okay, so I think I'm going to fold it. Am I in the middle? Kinda. So that it'll more easily fit when I peel it. Let me just go back to the chat though so I can see, just in case. Okay, oh my gosh. So yeah, if you don't have the printables, then they are linked in the live chat, but I will also update the description after this. So Karen, if you haven't got the printables, they will be available. This is going to be tricky. So I think the best way of doing it from here is going to be to just close my journal and try and get it, because it's tricky with the, oh my gosh, no, it didn't work so well. Oh, it's okay. So it probably would be better to slightly orient it a bit higher on the page, but I wanted to have enough space to put the title on here as well, which is this, the mid-year reset. And I might put a line of washi going across both pages because it is like a double page spread, although that's kind of obvious from the way that the compass is going across the two pages. Okay, so no, I am going to, do you know what, I think I'm going to put I might put the map, where's the map one gone there? I think I put that across, even though it's quite thick. And also quite hard to roll. Okay. Oh, I didn't cut, so I'm going to need to cut the page as well. Okay, so hopefully if you use the printable, it should make this really easy to set up, because if you don't, it's a bit more tricky. Let me show you what I did last time. I put the here. Okay, so yeah, this is my 2022 journal. It was quite nice actually going back and looking. I was like, oh, that was cute how I was making these like flaps for the month. That was nice. June one. But yeah, here it was, the 8 dimensions of wellness. So you can see, like, I did it as a sunflower that time, but this time I'm going to do it as the compass, which has got lines in it, which is annoying, but we're just going to have to not worry about it. So this is something that I found on the internet somewhere, and like, you could even change these headings if you want to, but basically I've got 8 different headings going around this circle. I've got occupational, spiritual, social, physical, environmental, no, is that environmental or emotional, environmental, financial, intellectual. So they're kind of like the 8 spheres of life, but like I said, you could choose 8 that kind of fit with you if you think, well, like if you don't have a job, for example, then you might not think occupational, but then occupational is also kind of like what you do with your time as well. So I think if you take them as like a kind of broad area, then it still works. So yeah, I've got them written out here as well. So spiritual, social, physical, emotional, environmental, financial, intellectual, or occupational. And I've put like a light circles on here, so you should be able to just see. I mean, I didn't put it very dark because I didn't want to like fill it all in too much, but hopefully you can see that there's like kind of like there's the center circle, and you can see it like coming out from here. So the idea is that you mark each area of your life and give it a score. Basically, you give it a score out of 10, which it should be 10. Let me see, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and there's like that extra bit on the edge there, so kind of 10. Yeah, so just just give it a, you know, like, don't overthink it. Basically, it's like I'm just giving it a score. It's just like kind of like taking a litmus test of how this is, and this is a really nice one to come back to, because you can then check in, you know, like I did do it again. I didn't draw it all out. I just did like the scores. It wasn't as pretty a couple of years ago. And when was this? 2022. So maybe it was last year. I don't know if I did. I think I might have done it in 2023. I don't think I did do it last year. So I'll have to go back and look at the 2023 one as well and see how it changes over time. And like, it's not that you want them all to be 10 out of 10. It's more that there's it's just giving you an overview, you know. It's like, well, you know, my spiritual one's always high, because that is like one of the things in my life that has been like constantly supportive thing for me through the whole of my life, whereas like the social one does tend to be lower. But like it's also like how do you feel about it? Like, is that okay, kind of thing as well? So I'm also going to make some notes. So the way that I've done it this time, I've stuck it in the middle, so I'll just make the notes like around the outside of it. So does that all make sense? Let me know if that, oh hang on, let me stick my title on as well. Let me know if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. I'm also going to stick something in the bottom as well to make this look a bit prettier, this page, because I stuck the compass on so low, it's now looking a bit weird. Okay, I'm gonna, yeah, like try and ground it a bit with this. It'll obviously have to like lift up. I think that'll help. Oh no, that's the end of this washi as well. Obviously been using these like neutrals, so I'll need to stick some glue. That's okay. There. Yes, that helps to like ground the page a little bit. I don't want to put too much else on here because I do want to have enough space to write on here. Are you guys still there? So what I probably will do is, oh my gosh, knocking my mic, sorry about that. I will just go over these lines a little bit more so I can see them a bit better between the different, between the 8 kind of thing. So I know, Shan, you already said you've done your mid-year check-in, so you've already checked in. But if you haven't, this is a really, really useful exercise. So there's my 8 kind of sections. Let me write on, I think I'll do it in black because I think it will be hard to see it otherwise. So I'm going to do, it would be nice to kind of tie them in with the directions, wouldn't it, to have like the kind of like financial. Maybe I will try and do that a little bit. So I'm going to put financial up here with north. So financial, what else would go with north? Probably like physical as well. You know, is this kind of like pentacles-y? Physical. And then the south is more the spiritual, so I think I'll put that there. And then west is like emotional, definitely. I think I'll write that one at the top. Emotional. So I'm not seeing any updates in the chat at all, so I don't know if you guys are definitely still there. Oh, you're here. Thanks, Shan. Thank you for the reassurance. I was like, has the stream actually stopped? And I've not noticed. And what else will go there nicely? I think environmental probably would go nicely there. So I'm going to write that one. So I'll write the ones at the bottom like this way round, and the top ones that way round. So this can be environmental. Just gone over the bump, so it looks a bit weird, but I can still see what it says. So what ones haven't I done? I've done spiritual. I haven't done social, so that's definitely in the east. With that air energy. So let's put that there. Social. I've done physical, I've done emotional, I've done environmental, I've done financial. So intellectual should also be here as well. And then I've got occupational down here. So it doesn't fully map, but it kind of does. So I think that's okay. So I'm going to do intellectual here. So that's more about like kind of things you've been studying and learning, and whether you feel kind of like mentally stimulated kind of stuff. It's well saying loving the long journaling session. Thanks, Isabel. Yeah, I'm glad. I hope your journal is going well. And then this one is going to be occupational, which is the last one. So like I said, feel free to change these up if those headings like don't make sense to you. And then it's like going through and deciding like where am I drawing? Do you know, I think I might draw the lines in black as well. I'll go over them because that'll make it easier to fill in as well. So not just in pencil, but in actual marker. There. Nice. Yes, I think that actually does look quite cool. I'm pleased with that. It's not quite as organic as my sunflower from last time, but I think still cool. So I'll probably colour it in this kind of thing, but it's gonna take me a little bit of time to decide, I suppose, about that. And it is getting on for almost 2 hours of of journal session. So maybe we'll leave it there for now. Does that all make sense of that spread? Like, do you know what you're going to be doing with this spread? Like, do you feel like if you're using it, like obviously all of this is invitational, you can decide if you want to use these things or not. But basically what I'm going to do now is I'll put like somewhere, I'll put like the scores. So I'll do overall the scores. The question that I use is like, how satisfied am I with my so-and-so health? Because it's not so much like how is it, but it's how am I satisfied with it? Like I'm saying, like with social, it's like how satisfied am I with my social health at the moment, you know, rather than just like how is my social? Because if I rated myself on like regular social compared to what some people find good, then I would definitely rate it low, but maybe I feel really satisfied with how it is, if you see what I mean. Yeah. Yeah, Karen says still here. Thea says need to feed the children, no peace. Yeah, oh well, hope you've enjoyed it, Thea, and I hope you managed to get some journaling done. So maybe let's write that question in as well. How satisfied am I with my... I'm going to put it across the top here, I think. Like that. Lovely. And then I'll just ask that question and fill it in for each of them and just give them a score. And then I'll write my scores somewhere around here. And then I'll also make some notes about areas that I want to. Like last time I made some notes, like I picked the areas of that I wanted to work on, you know. So I was like, okay, I'm really happy with that area, so I'll just leave that as it is. Some of them I was like kind of like, they're okay, so they just need a little bit of a tweak. Whereas the ones that were low, it's like, right, okay, that's gonna be a focus area for me now moving forward. I'll also at this point as well go back and look at my plans for the whole year, so I can sort of see, am I still in alignment with that? Do I want to carry on working on some of these things that I've been working on, or do I want to make some changes now, you know, for the rest of the year? Because I don't want to just like carry on doing these goals even if they're not meaningful for me anymore. Yeah. Karen says we could also refer back to the other video you did last. Yes. Yeah, so this was in 2022, which seems mad, doesn't it? But like it was like 3 years ago. But that is the video that is that kind of explains this all. So yes, that's a great point, Karen. Thank you. You could just go back and watch that. But I think it probably makes sense now, you know, you're just giving them scores and then you're deciding whether you want to like be working on that, kind of like making some notes and things like that with all of that. So let's just have a look at what we have done, or what I've done. I'd love to see what you've done though. So if you want to share it, maybe like over in the Discord, I'd love to see like how you've been getting on if you've been doing it. So quote page, my June title page, my calendar. I will round these corners as well, but I'll do that later on. My June cards and astrology, and then my mid-year reset. So I feel really happy with that actually. I am really happy. How are you feeling about yours? Like I said, if you do feel okay to share them, I'd love to see them over in the Discord. So yes, that would be really cool. I am going to call it a day here, and we will hopefully catch up and over in the Discord, and I'll see you, well, I won't see you live next week, but there will be a video next week for the new moon. So I'm trying to do one at exactly the same time every week, so it's going to be starting at 5 p.m. my time every week, and so it's like a kind of regular routine. I'm trying to get back into the regular routine of posting every single week. So thank you so much, guys, for being here, and warmest blessings to you, warmest blessings, and I will see you very soon. Shan says, feeling good? They're my quote title are the nicest. Well, I look forward to seeing those.